There's an app on your iPhone that allows you to use the IR sensor on the back of it to scan in objects in real life into a 3D model, and then you can bring them into any software. And I've been playing around with it. I've scanned in my phase bear for my room and also this McDonald's toy. And you can use any phone, any camera. I was on Discord last night with one of my friends, Blake, and he was scanning in his face. He scanned in rocks, and like it looked so realistic, and he was just using his iPhone. So I thought, what if I used my really expensive Sony and scanned in my whole entire room? So we're gonna go up to my room, start taking some pictures, and see what we get. I do know to get a good scan, you have to go literally all the way around this. So for example, if I wanna scan in my microphone, I not only have to take the scan of it right here, but I have to go around it and around and all the way in the back. Otherwise, it's gonna be missing data. So to get this stuff with my whole setup and everything, it's gonna be a lot of photos. Now it's time to import these photos. I kind of realized after like the 200th photo that there are gonna be a lot of areas in my room that doesn't have data. It's almost impossible to get every crevice. If we have the character like standing out here and kind of like how I would be viewing everything in real life, I think we got most of that stuff. I guess we'll just have to see. I definitely didn't take enough photos. I was watching a video of this guy that scanned in just a rock. He had 200 photos. I scanned in my whole entire room and I had 400. I guess we'll just have to see. More softwares need to do this. They legitimately have a step-by-step guide that you click on stuff and it shows you how to make a 3D model. Like I don't even think I'm gonna have to watch a tutorial. I think I can just do it all through this software. So far it seems pretty straightforward. I imported all the photos into the software. I click something that says align. It's telling me that it's gonna take 9 minutes to align all 400 images. I feel like I just skipped like a lot of steps and created a model. Let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah. I skipped a bunch of steps. Like I clicked next on the tutorial like 5 different times without doing one thing. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna load properly. It didn't load properly and I ruined everything. Actually didn't even shoot the photos properly the first time. So I had to go back and reshoot my whole entire room. Last time I was focusing like more on going around objects, and this time I kind of focused on just getting the room as a whole from different perspectives. Because before in the last one, I wasn't really overlapping the images. Like for example, if I had the photo of a monitor here, I would go to like my keyboard without even showing the monitor. So like you kind of have to frame stuff together, like the monitor and the desk a little bit, the monitor and the keyboard a little bit, and just kind of go down. So I realigned the images, and now you can see, I can at least see my rug. You can see parts of my desk and like my ceiling and my wall window and the stuff behind me. So now this is kind of the moment of truth. I'm calculating the model. It says it's gonna take roughly like 5 minutes. I already got higher hopes. We can see that Lyrical Lemonade rug that's right here. This is already looking a lot better than the last one. Yo! This just took 15 minutes, but it did a pretty damn good job. There's for sure stuff I'm missing, but this is cool as hell. Like look at this, dude, all the detail. And now we have to texture it so it actually looks like my room and not just like a chrome thing. I also saw when I was importing my photos that there's an option for video, so you can just like take one video clip and walk around. I think maybe for my room, something like video would have done a better job scanning than a bunch of photos. It seems like you wouldn't miss as much if you used video because you could just kind of go around stuff a little bit faster. I'm assuming you probably lose some quality with that, but it might be worth it. They have these tools where you can go through and clean up some of the areas where you didn't scan properly. But honestly, I'm kind of inspired by this TikTok RMX video by Late Milk. He did the same thing with like scanning the areas, and he has these rough and edges. So I'm just gonna see what it looks like for this and not go too crazy with cleaning up. Okay, so then I unwrapped it. So now it has no texture, and now we're gonna press texture, and it should apply the look to the model. I'm assuming this is probably gonna be one of the longest ones. I know creating the model took like 15 minutes. Whatever it looks like when it's done texturing is what it's gonna look like in Unreal when we're walking around with our video game character. So hopefully it looks similar to my room. It's actually so good. Like, dude, I focused a lot on the rug, and you can tell like the rug literally looks real. Yeah, dude, if I just had a few like more photos, this would be so good. Got my area up there, even the tripod, part of my bed. Dang, this is crazy. What? Let's see if we can get this into Unreal and have a dude walking around. Now apparently we have to reproject something and it's gonna turn it ugly again, which is a little scary because we had something looking good for a second. And this is what's interesting about this software. It's free, but you actually have to pay to export OBJs and stuff. So for our model, it's costing us $2.44. Paid the $2 and now we're exporting. Now we need to bring it into Blender, which I already did. All out of whack right now, I gotta fix it. Then we have to export it and save it as a specific file. That way we can open it up in Unreal. So now we got two major issues. We got our character in Unreal. See if we can play as him. We can run around. We got our room there. but you can't go inside, and also the lighting's all messed up. Now these are probably some pretty simple fixes, but like I said, I've never used Unreal. We're gonna have to figure this out. So instead of looking up a tutorial on how to get your 3D character inside of an OBJ that you've made, I spent the next 15 minutes trying to jump at this transparent part of my object, trying to get inside to see if I could clip through. I even tried spawning the object on top of him so he could like start off inside. That didn't work. Okay, so I hopped on a call with Blake and he told me that you can just turn off collision on items, so that's what I did, and now I'm able to actually go inside my room. And dude, it's so crazy seeing your room in proportion. Like this is exactly like how tall I would be compared to my desk, and like the rug was scanned over like perfectly, and I think that was because it was like in natural sunlight and it was lit really well. Everything else in my room was kind of dark when I was doing it, so if I were to do it again, I would like light my room properly and scan, or I'd like hold a light while I scan portions of my room, and maybe I'll try that, like a full room scan, like even this other side over here that I'm missing scanned really, really well. Because if you go into this mode, like look how crazy like good this looks. And this is just my room. This is nuts. Unreal has like a bunch of different modes you can go into and see stuff. But even with something just like this, you could make that transition that I showed in that music video. If you look at my dresser, like everything on here is actually pretty well done. Like even though I didn't spend too much time taking photos of it, like the Lyrical Lemonade blushes, that cherry, the shoe, even that face bear that's in like the shadow over there looks pretty realistic. And you can go in camera view or whatever and kind of look around. Looks sweet. Doing laps in my room. In Unreal, it's really cool. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. You can make characters, cars, you can turn it into a camera and just make like a cinematic sequence. There's a lot of really cool stuff with Unreal. This is like my second time ever in it, and before I was just using a completely pre-built environment. I think that's where I'm tapping out for today's video. The scanning of like a room with just pictures or videos is crazy. I think that's insanely useful. People that know how to use 3D properly and aren't opening the softwares for the first time probably do some really insane stuff with that. I'm gonna continue learning. I think Unreal, at least from my perspective, has been a little bit more fun just because everything's like real-time rendering. You can move the camera around. It just seems more like a software that I want to learn. So I think it's good that I tested out Blender, tested out Unreal. I'll probably use both. From my perspective, Unreal is just a little bit better for like video stuff. I think if you want to create models and all this stuff, like Blender is the way to go. And if you want to be a little bit more of an artist, but I think for like using a 3D software to create environments for video, or also like from what I found, Unreal is a little bit better for that. And it seems like something that I want to learn more. So I'm gonna spend a majority of my time now learning Unreal. Hopefully this video gets you to go download Unreal, try out reality capture, try something in 3D, because like I said, this is probably my third time ever opening Unreal. I've just like drove around cars in Unreal before. I've never opened up reality capture, and I've never scanned anything using a camera instead of the IR sensor on your iPhone. So pretty much first time almost everything. I learned a lot today. All the softwares and everything I downloaded was free besides the export of the OBJ from reality capture to make it an object, but even that was like $2, so it's not really that big of a deal. And if you really wanted to save the $2 and not use reality capture, you can use one of those apps on your phone and then transfer it to an OBJ like that. If you guys want more videos to watch, here is a video of me learning Blender for the first time, very similar to this video, and then over here is me editing 360 cam pictures and using AI to create something crazy. Peace!